I think I accidentally started the video, one of the videos. Yeah, that's the sound you might have heard. It's one of the videos playing in the background. I did not mean for that to happen. Okay, yeah. Um, so we're gonna start today by watching my free games I played in the CSM like a couple weeks ago. At the end of June. I did not do good. One free drop. So we're gonna start with this first one. This was my round 2 match, even though it says round 1 on the video, which was against Live Twin. I was playing fluffal, of course. So let's make this big so we can react properly to it. And yeah, looks good. I'll skip ahead a bit to where the actual game starts. I'll be pausing this at points, so. It's Dr. Kilometer. I did not open good here. I mean, I can get Penguin with this, but opening wings is not ideal. I guess I had Bear, but I lost the die roll, which is really bad because which you'll see is really bad. If you lose the die rolls of Live Twin as Fluffle, you have a lot of problems because they're gonna do the thing where they can tag out one of the Link monsters and pop your Fang, like right when you normal summon as a quick effect. So they're just going through all their Link climbing and setting up that. I draw Patchwork, but it's not really going to help with this hand because I don't have much I can do. Because I'll go Patchwork here, but they have the Ash, probably. I remember getting Ash here. Which, normally, the thing is, in Game 1... Because, I'm going to pause here to talk about this. Normally, in Game 1, like, it's actually advisable to shotgun your Patchwork, because if they don't know you're on Fluffle, if you fire Patchwork first, the idea behind firing Patchwork first is because it'll hopefully not get ashed if you shotgun it. Because if you haven't revealed that you're on Fluffle yet, they will assume that you're on Despia, and they'll hold their Ash for Branded Fusion. But this person correctly guessed that I was on Fluffle. I think because I mentioned that I was going to be playing Fluffle in the chat, and I guess they read the chat before round 2 started. Oh, I gave up some important information. And chances are they probably didn't want to ash anything else in this hand, so that just completely fucked me because I didn't get an Edgem, so I couldn't fuse at all. I go get the Penguin, but as you'll see, it won't matter because they're just gonna do the tag out pop to pop the number summon before I can actually utilize Penguin. Because because the Ash. because they ashed my patchwork, so I can't fuse. I tried to normal summon Penguin, and they're just gonna do the tag out pop. See, as soon as I normal Penguin, they're gonna just chain their Trouble Sunny and do the tag out pop. But at this point, there's like literally nothing I can do because they had the tag out pop for Penguin, and I was denied access to whatchamacallit. My own, and I made a really critical misplay there because of that weird hand shuffle thing that Edo Pro does. I wanted to click Illusion to Chaos and send Illusion Chaos back into deck so I could use my Magician Souls. But the issue is that because of the weird hand shuffle thing that Edo Pro does, I misclicked, and that cost me. Because my only hope now was to use that Magician Souls to hopefully toss away some of these spells to draw into some way to my only out was to send spells with Magician Souls and draw into an edge up, because that was the only thing I could do with the extra Penguin I had in hand, is I needed to use Magician Souls to find an edge up. But because of the weird hand shuffle thing that Edo Pro does, like, I ended up misclicking and it cost me the game. And as you can see, that's pretty much the end of the game. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Now there's activating more stuff, just comboing off. Yeah, from here they can get Trouble Sunny back, and from there they can probably ladder to access code and just kill me. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. I'm gonna turn this to 1.5 speed. Should probably have it on higher. Now that'll make Sky Cavalry Centuria, actually. I thought they would just ladder into access code, but oh, because they can tag out and kill me this way. I'm gonna turn to 1.25. 1.5 is a bit fast. So I was already on tilt after this because of that issue that happened with Magician Souls. Now, to be fair, the Magician Souls would have had to draw me exactly an edge up to save me. But still. even without that, like, because of that ash followed by the pop of my penguin, there probably wasn't much I could do. Light was just a hard matchup for this deck. So my thinking here was, I don't remember what I cited. I think I cited the nibs, but I'm not entirely certain I did. Oh yeah, I cited in Reboot because I was worried they were going to cite into D-Barrier. Because I'm going first. So I cited to Nibiru and Reboot for D-Barrier. Because I know it's a Link deck, they're going to spam a lot of special summons, so Nib is good, I think. And I cited into Reboot because I tend to always cite into Reboot because I know most people are just going to cite the fucking D-Barriers. Again, another kind of sussy open. Goods for vendor. Vendor effect. Will I get Dolphin here? Normal Penguin. Penguin effect. For Dolphin. Dolphin effect for vendor. Send wings. Flip vendor. Vendor send chain to trigger chain. Chain get patchwork. Fire patchwork. I think I make cruel oil here. Yes, that's exactly what I do. Make cruel oil. Activate penguin. Here I discard the nib because I didn't think I think I needed everything else. I think I discard the nib here. Oh, I discarded Fright for Fusion because I thought I needed the beer. Oh, it might have been a misplay to discard Fright for Fusion because I was thinking, oh, well, I'm gonna need the Nibiru for their turn. I should have discarded the nib because the Fright for Fusion would have got me to another fusion play, but I don't think Fright for Fusion does much going first, though, and that's probably why I tossed it, because I didn't think it did a lot going first. Anyway, wings effect, we send the penguin for wings, but they bell us. That's a massive problem for us, because it prevents us from doing anything. We send our penguin for nothing, we get no draws. We have the special sheep here just to extend into. I don't know why I made cross sheep here. I should have made day. Oh, it's because I was gonna do repair. That's right. Because I could do repair, and I could repair dog. To still. Why did I put in the cross sheep zone? Oh, I think I was on tilt. I think I was on tilt and I wasn't thinking straight. I should have put dog in the cross sheep zone. I don't know why I did this. Oh, it's because I didn't. I was just making a link to so I could just Apo pass. Because I thought that was my only play after Wings got denied. But they had Dark Ruler, which just instantly breaks my board. Because it was just a single Lapalooza. You know, the Kiss Kill. The only way I see of coming back into the game is to use Nibiru. At the end of the main phase, that's when I Nibiru. But they had secret password and can still extend, I think, yeah. Entrance. And my drop return is reboot. That's the end of the game. Well, I do get a vendor search, but it's not gonna matter. They're gonna. There's not like much I can make with just one vendor search, though. Because all I can do is make Penguin. But they'll just do the tag out pop. And there's nothing I can do from this position. It just felt like an unwinnable game. From start to finish. They just had everything. And Live Twin just completely just shits on Fluffal. Too many hand traps. Too much interaction. Fucking Dark Ruler. The fucking tag out pop on the normal summon. Round 3 was against Branded Predaplant. Yeah, that's how down bad I was. I was losing the fucking Predaplant. I'm gonna set this to 1.25. Let's go. Of course, I lose the die roll again. So they go Luber, Branded Fusion, MJ, pretty sure, no, Albion. Sorry, Albion first. I end up chaining a jump site here because I thought I could get rid of the Mirror Jade whale. But they had Super Poly. So it didn't fucking matter. I just basically fed them a fucking Predator Lamp Fusion. They use a Predaplant fucking pendulum scale. I don't know for what purpose, but they just end. I think they just make fucking Masquerade and pass. Yep. Yep, it's the fucking Masquerade challenge protected by Mirror Jade. And Fluffal has to take the the Masquerade challenge, because this deck doesn't have room to main Droplet. Droplet has to come out of the board. Because our engine's too loaded. We can't run a billion hand traps and staples like other decks can because of our really tight deck space because of the engine requirements. I go Eldritch here. So I think it was Eldritch can at least punch over the Mirror Jade or the Masquerade or something, but it doesn't end up working out. I go Bear here. But then they just chain Mirror Jade to my fucking Penguin Summon. I chain Called By here just to get rid of the Eluber at least. But it doesn't matter because my play was just completely stopped. My last play that I have is just Fright Perfusion. And I just tried to Fright Perfusion out of Kraken. After I baited the Mirror Jade, but I think they had something for Kraken as well, if memory serves. Yeah, I think they had like some kind of response to Kraken summon. Second Super Poly? Is that the set card? That could be it. It could have been the second Super Poly, I think. Oh, Branded Exile. Well, Branded Exile is basically the same thing as a Super Poly. Still does the same job. Yep. Yeah, and I knew I lost because sure Eldritch could punch over the Masquerade, but they would kill me next turn. I was like, right, yeah, I need to side my droplets. The droplets have to come in. Branded is one of those decks where you just need to draw a droplet or you lose. And I decided the DB Crows needed to come in too. Mostly to deal with a Looper. And maybe some of the other graveyard effects, but mostly a Looper. It took me a while to decide what to cut for Deferred Crow. I ended up cutting one copy of Eldritch for Deferred Crow. I go prep. I go IOC, I think. And then I go prep versus Ravis, I think. Problem is IOC's not live because I don't have a sendable spell. At most I can use the Magician's Souls to extend, but that's it. I can't really use it to draw. Firefight for Patchwork. But they have the Ash, of course they do. They always have the fucking Ash. Yeah, Patchwork Ash, this is a normal dog hand, which means that I lose. You are in a very, very, very bad position if you have the normal dog ever. It is like the worst normal summon you could possibly do. If you have the normal dog and you have no other way of special summoning anything else afterward, you can't get to your rank 4s, you can't get to the better plays. And Branded is a matchup where you absolutely need to reach your rank 4 pool. Because against Branded, you really need Toad. And in some situations, you actually want to make Baguska. Because Baguska is actually poses a really nasty problem to Branded, because Branded don't have a lot of outs to Baguska other than Droplet. So if I was able to get another 4 and able to make Baguska, I could have maybe stood a chance. And I just let him have it because, yeah, like I said, Ash on Patchwork just fucking wins. Yeah, it was a hand where Ash on Patchwork just wins the game on the fucking spot. And now it's time for this was my round 4 match. After which I dropped because I was X3 and had no chance of topping. Had no chance of topping and no chance of Joseph commentating my matches. So I felt it was pointless to play it out after this point. 1.25 again. Yep, it's set 5 Elwich. And this is not a great hand, especially into set 5. Especially since I'm going second and I'm playing into fucking 5 back row. I think I end up chaining for whale here to try and pop one to the back row. And to draw some cards off of penguin. I end up pitching vendor here for vendor search, I think. I just popped the middle back row. But joke's on me, it's the sanguine. I fucking whiffed. I should have did one like the far left because I think that's where the torrential was. I knew I should have just did the far left because that was probably torrential and then just sets Conquistador from deck. I go prep race for ILC. Patchwork. I went for sabers because with the patchwork, Fright for Fusion in hand, I think my only real play to deal with this back row is Tiger. So I send these two with the normal poly to make Kraken, but I run to Torrential Tribute here. Because I got unlucky with my guess with Whale on their turn. If I had guessed properly, I wouldn't have gotten Torrential here. I think I discard the Cerebus because I know it's a set 5 deck. So they're not able to, like, imper me anyway. And I doubt that one of the traps was imper. Oh, I sent the fight for Patchwork because I used Patchwork this turn. That's right. I decided to keep this Arabis just in case one of those 5 was infirm. Anyway, I go Bear for Toy Vendor. Mostly so I can ILC, I think. But as soon as I summon souls, that's when they flip the fucking torrential. At this point, my only way out of this is the Tiger for 4. So I trigger Tiger, I pop 4 of their 4 back row. But Tiger does not beat Skill Drain. I sided a bunch of anti-back row stuff, but it didn't matter because I didn't draw it. And I got like one of the worst starting hands I have ever seen. I mean, it's not like terrible, but no bear, no toy vendor access whatsoever. I drew the wings. No dolphin. Well, dolphin doesn't. Well, I drew dolphin, but the issue is I didn't have access to toy vendor. I didn't draw like FB goods. So dolphin's a fucking vanilla here. But I felt that I needed to make Toad here because I need Toad to deal with the traps. Because I didn't draw Reboot and I didn't draw either of my twins. Yeah, this was just a Toad pass hand. There was nothing I could do. They'll just set 5 and there's no way I can play through set 5 with this hand. Because I'm reduced to having to normal summon Dog at this point. And they probably just flip Torrential, if I'm remembering correctly. Or they do something, they flip Skill Drain, or they Torrential, but I think I could have Toaded, but if I Toaded the Torrential, I'd probably just lose to the rest of their back row, right? Because I was just frustrated at that point. I didn't realize I could have just Toaded the Torrential, but I was worried I was just going to lose to our other 4 back row. I had no other way of dealing with the back row. Especially because I didn't have poly access at all. There was no way I was going to win. And that was the end of my CSM run for this month. Or last month. It was not pretty. So let's go over to EDO Pro now. Let me change scenes.